Hey guys, Joe Cool here. Welcome back to another tutorial. So again, we're back on Crash Landing. And what I wanted to go over today is, you've probably seen it around some of the videos. I think Purple Mentat's done it. Funshine X, I've seen he's done this one before too. Mine I did a little differently because I wanted to configure it as little a space as possible, so I've got it going vertical, and I wanted to show you that, and I also wanted to show you the code if you can't find the code anywhere, or you have a hard time setting up the code and understanding what's going on. So let's go ahead and get into it. And so I have one set up here. Now there are several options for storing all your pieces. The one that I use in my Let's Play, all the dusts, basically, I put them in a chest, combine them down into 4, and they're prepped to send off to the smelteries and whatnot. And then my general storage kind of looks like this. I have inventory cable on the back. So there's multiple storage options, however you do that, and then there's options for combining them down into compressing them down into dust blocks and hammering those out. So there's a lot of options for that, and I'm not going to go over that in this video. I just want to focus on the sifter. Now I call it a hyper sifter because VSWE, I think is his name. He's the mod author, I believe. I'm pretty sure. Well, one of the authors, one of the guys working on it, and he posted a video using a block gate to interact with the sieve, and somebody had figured out how to essentially send it into hyperactive mode. And here's what it looks like. I think it looks better this way because you don't have pieces flopping around everywhere. It doesn't look kind of... So yeah, so when we kick it on, so what we have happening here is the block gate is sending a dust up. It's right clicking with the dust, and then if it can't right click the block, it drops it. So what it's doing is it's hitting the sieve over and over again. And if you see how quickly that's pulsing, and then you can see how quickly it's managing the sieve, and then we've got a rapid item valve that's collecting all the leftover stuff sitting up here. And then when we turn it off, yeah, so there you go. And that was somebody that figured that out. That was pretty neat. Why is that not clean up? Oh, let's see here. Output, inventories. I also want that one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and build this. And so we're going to need a inventory manager. I need one of these guys. Let's see, we need all these guys. And you probably use a chest. I use a chest, it's fine. So you can start out with your machine manager. You're going to want to come over 3 and up 1. And this is where your rapid item valve is going to go. And then underneath here, these are where your block gates are going to go. And then you need a building block above that to put your sieves. And that's pretty much it. All you got to do over here is, now wherever you want to put your redstone emitter, it's got to be next to your redstone receiver. And on the redstone receiver, you need a way to activate it. Now here we're just using a lever, and there's other ways of activating this if you want to, and I'm going to be doing some of that in my actual Let's Play. And that's pretty much it. So let's go over the code. I've already got it written up over here, so I just want to go over what's going on so we don't have to, so you can just pause it where you need to, and the video doesn't need to be an hour long. Okay, so we're going to start off with the pulse section. Now in the pulse section you have a trigger. Now the first thing you want to do when you bring out your trigger is change it to a redstone controlled. Then select your redstone receivers. Now make sure you select the right one. This is doing something else, so don't worry about that. Interval's fine at 1 second. Redstone's fine the way it's set up. analog redstone, pretty much everything's pretty much the same, so you don't have to worry about that. There's no changes there. You add a flow, that's this guy here, a flow control. Now you want one side set to the on high pulse and one side set to the on low pulse. So what's going to happen here is every time it goes high, it's gonna do all this stuff. Every time it goes low, it's gonna do all this stuff. If it's not moving, it's not gonna do anything. So only when it pulses will it do anything. And then here is an emitter when you want to. So as it's going through, it wants to set the output to toggle, and that's where your emitter is going hyperactive. And all sides are fine as long as it doesn't affect any of your other components that you're doing. And do not emit pulse. You want it at toggle. And then this is really neat. So this guy here, create a group node. Now what this does is it adds a little notch on the outside of your group, and you can set it to an input or an output. Now we want this as an output, so as you see it up top, so as it flows into here, it's going to essentially hit this node here, and then whatever comes out the bottom. There's 2 points to it. Oh, because I got 2 nodes in there. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. So yeah, you can create. I guess you can create a group with a bunch of nodes, and they do different things when they come out of the nodes. And I imagine they'll be labeled differently. So let's try this. So this should actually label your output. There, yeah. So you can label it. So now onto the sifter. Now you want an input node. So coming from your pulse, you want to come down to the sifter. And so every time it finishes the pulse tree, it's going to come in here and do this line. Now as you see, I got 2 sides to this. Now this one is for dust, and this one is for gravel. So you can set this up as a where is it? A redstone condition. So if you want to flip a lever, all you got to do is set up another node, another redstone receiver, and then if it's true, then it goes down one side. If it's false, it goes down the other. This is what I'll be doing in mine eventually. But for easy mode, you can just switch what side you want to go to. And yeah, so we're gonna go there. Okay, so this is important parts here. So your inventory, this is the barrel that has all the dust in it. You can set up pretty much, you know, if you have a variable for barrels, you can do that as well. But here's the kicker here. For items, you're going to want to put dust, and then you want to specify amount for the number of sieves that you have. So it's going to pull, this one's going to pull 3 out, and what you're going to do is on each of your block gates, so you can go here and type in block, if you can spell it right. So select all your blocks, so you have 3 block gates. So up here you want it set to 3, and then define multi-selection interaction. This is important. Run command once per target, and then that's fine. And then here you're going to specify amount 1, and then this comes together into a flow, and then you're collecting everything from your rapid item valve, and you're collecting everything, and then you're putting it all into all the chests. So let's move this over here so you can see it. And that's pretty much it. Now there's another part that I added. It's called cleanup. Now what this one is doing is it's pulling stuff from the rapid item valve. So if this is off, so if this is off right now, without that command tree, this won't grab all the extra stuff. So here we're going to turn it on, and when we turn it off, we've got some sand just sitting there. But with this, as you can see the sand up here. Now when I click this, so that's going to collect the sand. So inventories from the rapid item valve, you want to collect everything, so you blacklist it, and then output to inventories, your 1 barrel, and then your variable for all your barrels, and then blacklist that as well. This works. Blacklisting stuff is fine if you're using barrels, because it'll only put stuff in the barrel that it can obviously put stuff in. So this is really good inventory system if you want to keep everything separate. If not, oh well, whatever. And then this is a variable, so that's this button down here, create container variable. And the variable, you can change all the different colors you want. This is better, easy to define. When you change this name up here, plus, it changes the name here. So when you mouse over it, you know the exact variable you have. Container types, this one we're only doing inventory, so that way, what all this does is when you come down here, it limits what you can actually see. So you go through, and the easiest way to do this is, you type it out, it finds all the barrels, and then there's a select all button. So you can select all. Is there a deselect all? Invert selection? Yeah. And then connections, just declarations, so you're fine. And so that's it in a nutshell. And I hope this helps you out. This thing goes crazy fast. As you can see, I've only had it on a few times, and you look at all the dust that's been created so far. The nice thing about Steve's Factory Manager is the biggest extent of what you're using is going to be iron. If we look at the recipes for these things, so that's 6 iron and some redstone. Pretty easy to do once you sift out. Again, iron and redstone for 8 inventory cables. The block gate, you need some more iron and a bow. That might be a little harder unless you're killing a bunch of skeletons that have them. Redstone receiver is some redstone. Redstone emitter is some redstone. And then the rapid item valve is just an item valve which takes a bit of iron or aluminum. I usually use aluminum because my iron is a high commodity. A rare commodity here. That's the one I was looking for, rare commodity. And then just add a bit of gold to it and you get a rapid item valve. Now what the rapid item valve over the normal item valve, so if you throw an item on the ground, you gotta wait a few seconds before you can actually pick it up. The rapid item valve ignores that few seconds to pick it up. The normal one interacts the same way as a player would, but the rapid one picks it up right away, as you can see. And that's only been running for a little bit. We've like tripled the iron in those couple minutes that I was talking to you. And you know, this stuff's crazy. Alright guys, I hope this helps you out. If it does, let me know. Leave a like or comment below. And take care and have a good one.